Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's topic is consumers equilibrium through cardinal utility approach in case of one commodity. How the equilibrium will be achieved in case of this one commodity. There will be only one commodity X, and what is the equilibrium condition of this one commodity? When there will be only one commodity, what will be the equilibrium condition? So for that reason we have to go through certain assumptions. Now what are the assumptions? We go through the following assumptions. First assumption is that consumer is rational. Consumer is rational means what? The consumer will aims at maximizing the utility from his purchase. Whatever the consumer purchase, his aim is to maximize his utility from that purchase. Next point, utility can be measured in terms of money. Utility can be measured in terms of money. That means that the utility of one unit of a commodity equals the amount of money which the consumer is prepared to pay. Okay, utility can be measured in monetary terms, in money terms. That means utility of one unit of a commodity, that will be equal to the price which the consumer wants to pay for it. Next, number 3, law of diminishing marginal utility operates. So third assumption is that the law of diminishing marginal utility will operate in this case. Next, the utility of each unit of the money is constant. Utility of each unit of the money is constant, which means that every unit of the money has same utility to the consumer. For example, we can tell rupees 10. Rupees 10, that 10 rupee note will remain constant whatever is the consumer's income. If the consumer is earning 10,000 rupee also, then also that 10 rupee note will give him same utility. If the consumer is earning 20,000, then also that 10 rupee note will give him same utility. That is the thing telling that utility of each unit of the money will remain constant. It doesn't mean that if the consumer is earning rupees 10,000, that 10 rupee note will have one utility. Again, when the consumer is earning 20,000, again that 10 rupee note will have different utility for that consumer. No, whatever be the income of the consumer, the utility from that 10 rupee note will remain constant. Next assumptions, the consumer income is given and remain constant. So the income of the consumer here will not change, it will remain constant. Next is what? The prices of the other commodities are assumed to be given. The prices of the other commodities assuming that it is already given. Next is that the taste and preferences of the consumer also will remain constant. Next we come to the explanation of this equilibrium with the help of the diagram. This is the consumer equilibrium condition in case of a single commodity. So what is the equilibrium condition here? MUX will be equal to PX. MUX is what? Marginal utility of X will be equal to PX. Now here the consumer is what? The consumer is a rational consumer. So the consumer will keep on consuming until the marginal utility will be equal to the price. Now beyond this stage, that means beyond this MUX equal to PX, beyond this stage the consumer will not willing to consume more. Beyond this stage the consumer will be not willing to consume more. This can be shown with the help of the following schedule. So in this following schedule, what we have measured, we have done 3 columns. In the first column we have written here units of good X. In the second column marginal utility of X, and the third column price of X. Now see, when this 1 unit of X, your marginal utility is 20 and the price of X is 10. Now this is also one of the assumption that we have told before discussing with this consumer's equilibrium, that if we consume more and more units of the commodity, there will be a diminishing marginal utility. Okay, your utility means there will be diminishing marginal utility if you are consuming more and more units of the good. See, when your good increases from 2, your marginal utility have also decreased from 20 to 16, but the price is 10. Again, when you are consuming 3 units, your marginal utility have again decreased and it has falls to 10, which is equal to the price of the good X. That means what was our condition? That mu X will be equal to Px. This will be the equilibrium condition. And mu X will be equal to Px. So that means so long the consumer will increase his consumption until the marginal utility will be equal to the price. After means when the consumer want to increase the good more, now we can see that marginal utility will fall more, but it will be less than the price. So at this stage the consumer will not be satisfied, because here the price is more than the utility. Here the price is more. So at this stage also the consumer won't be satisfied, because what is the condition of the rational consumer? The rational consumer always want to increase his total utility. Now let us see with the help of the diagram. See, with the help of the diagram we will again see the consumer equilibrium. So in this diagram we have measured the unit of good X on the x-axis and the price on the y-axis. Marginal utility curve is downward sloping because it follows the diminishing marginal utility. It follows the assumption of diminishing marginal utility. And this is the price given by P. This horizontal straight line is the price which is given by P. Now from this condition what we can see, we can see that at equilibrium point E, that means at this point your marginal utility will be equal to Px. At this point the marginal utility will be equal to Px. That means when you are consuming 3 units of the good, that time your marginal utility will be equal to Px, as we have seen in the above schedule. And what was a rational consumer always want to increase his total utility, or we can tell increase his total satisfaction by consuming more of commodity if the price is less than the marginal utility. That means in this condition, if the price is less than the marginal utility, the consumer will always try to consume more unit of commodity. And if the price is more than the marginal utility, then the consumer will consume less of the commodity in order to increase his total utility. But the consumer will not be interested to buy more than 3 units, because here the price is more than the marginal utility, or we can tell the marginal utility is less than the price. So we can tell that the consumer will be in equilibrium only when MUX will be equal to PX. So this much for today's class. Again we will meet you in the next video. So those who haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe it, so that you will not miss up any videos. Thanks for watching.